If you have been following the movements of our Lions, you may have noticed some changes since the end of minicamp. The team has been making strategic adjustments that are crucial as we prepare for training camp, which begins in just 5 weeks. Among these changes, we saw Craig James being released on an injury settlement, Steel Chambers freeing up space for the arrival of Ben Neiman, and Isaac Rex being replaced by Sean McKeon. With the need to adjust the roster and perhaps bring in some veteran players before camp begins, it is possible that more cuts or trades will take place. Let's take a look at some players who could be on the ropes. First, let's talk about the receivers. We currently have 12 on the squad, but with the possibility of adding more before camp, the competition becomes even fiercer. Isaiah Williams and Jalen Calhoun, both rookies, have drawn attention, and Caden Davis was a standout in both OTAs and minicamp. Additionally, Traquan Smith brings a wealth of experience to the group. Among these names, Alexander seems to be the most vulnerable. He is the least known among fans, and if the Lions decide to bring in more receivers, Alexander could be one of the first to be cut to make room. Moving on to the linebackers, the situation is equally competitive. With the recent addition of Ben Neiman, who has experience on special teams, Rodriguez's future with the team could be in jeopardy. He's lower on the depth chart and hasn't gotten much playing time beyond special teams. Many teams out there could benefit from a player like Rodriguez in a more significant role than he has here in Detroit, so a trade could be beneficial for both parties. In the running back group, the room is overcrowded with talent. Sione Vaki, Zonovan Knight, and Craig Reynolds are competing for space, making the decision about who stays and who goes even more difficult. Jamar Jefferson, who has been with the Lions since 2021, has yet to reach the level of performance many expected. With so many competitors in the position, he could be released to make room for other players who have shown more promise during minicamp. And we can't forget the kickers. Michael Badgley faces some stiff competition. If the Lions are keeping an eye on the UFL's Jake Bates or Andre SCMYT, and considering rookie James Turner's impressive spring performance, Badgley's situation becomes delicate. He could be kept until the training camp for a final evaluation, but he will have to show something new and convincing to secure his place in the team. These next few weeks will be decisive for our squad. Preparation and performance during training camp will determine who will actually wear the Lions jersey next season. We will continue to follow and hope that the team gets stronger and stronger. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, keep roaring for our Lions. Our team is in the midst of adjustments and preparation, and the movements since the end of minicamp have been intense. We have already had some strategic releases. Craig James left on an injury deal, Steel Chambers was released for the arrival of Ben Neiman, and Isaac Rex made way for Sean McKeon. These changes are just the beginning as we approach training camp. With training camp just 5 weeks away, the Lions may need to clear more roster space to bring in veteran players. Let's take a look at some names that are under pressure. At receivers, we have a curious situation. The group has 12 players, but if there are any new additions, Alexander appears to be the most vulnerable. With rookies like Isaiah Williams and Jalen Calhoun excelling, Caden Davis impressing in OTAs and minicamp, and veteran Traquan Smith bringing experience, Alexander seems like an odd one out. Will he be able to find his place, or will he be one of the first to leave? At the linebacker position, the arrival of Ben Neiman could put Malcolm Rodriguez in a difficult situation. He is lower on the depth chart, and his main contribution has been on special teams. With so much talent at the position, Rodriguez could be a good candidate for a trade. There are many teams that could use him in a more important role than he has here. What do you think? Is it time to move on and trade Rodriguez? Among running backs, competition is fierce. Sione Vaki, Zonovan Knight, and Craig Reynolds are all fighting for space, and Jamar Jefferson, who has been with us since 2021, has not yet reached his expected potential. With the room so full, Jefferson could be released to make room for other, more promising players. Does he deserve another chance to show what he's capable of, or have we seen enough? And regarding kickers, Michael Badgley is in an intense battle. With the UFL's Jake Bates and Andre SCMYT as possible options, and rookie James Turner impressing in the spring, the Lions could be ready to move in another direction. Badgley could stay until camp for one last evaluation, but what can he show that we haven't seen yet? Do you think he has what it takes to continue, or is it time for us to change? These next few weeks will be decisive for our squad. We are gearing up for an exciting and competitive season. So I want to hear from you, Lion Nation. Who do you think should stay and who should go? Which of these decisions seem right and which would you question? Let's keep roaring and hope that our team will be stronger than ever when the season starts.